The Fourth Estate. Breaking news. China warns new flu virus could be next pandemic. Cynthia Barker is first Filipino mayor of Hertsmere in England. Wendy's and Pizza Hut franchise files for bankruptcy. With your news anchor, Nikki and Solrak, reporting live here at TalaLuvzRadio Worldwide. The Fourth Estate. The Fourth Estate. With our news anchors, Nikki and Solrak, reporting live.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, wherever you may be. We're back. Solrak here and Sir Nikki Gokwan. We invite you people to stay tuned and tune in and watch the show. We have a very, very fruitful conversation about a lot of things that's going on in our world today. So, Nikki, how are you doing, sir?
Good evening and good morning, Philippines. I hope everyone's staying safe. And Solrak, how are you today?
Very good, sir. Thank you for asking. It has been a great day today. Actually, very, very sunny, and was actually pretty hot today. I was wearing my cowboy outfit earlier today, and I really had to change because it was a little sweating the armpits kanina. It's hot. How about you today, sir? How are you doing? How is family?
Oh, good. Weather's been holding up. The last 2 days it has been raining, but today it's sunny and very warm.
Mr. Sun is finally here.
Yes, finally we have summer, right? So
That's right. Now, speaking of our summer, I think, sir, let's do a little update on our COVID-19 Alberta numbers. Do we have anything? As far as I know, there's 0 deaths. Still total remains at 155. 57 new cases. The total now is 8,259. 42 are currently in the hospital, 9 in ICU. Yesterday there was 44 and 9 in ICU. So, and there's another 6,739 tests conducted, and negative 0.8% positive. So, I think it's safe to say that things are looking up pretty well here in our province. In the meantime, Sir Nikki, what's your take on our COVID-19 here?
well, it has been great for Alberta, and I hope we continue to keep our social distancing. And if you can't social distance, then please wear a mask. I totally understand that we are all tired of staying home, and we want to get back to a new normal. And that new normal includes the social distancing that we need to follow or obey as per the chief medical officer.
That's right. And kudos to fellow Albertans. Our neighboring cities in this province are actually doing really, really well. It's really nice to see what's happening in our province. As we all know, things are not looking good in the U.S. especially. There has been a lot of there has been a lot of cases, a lot of new cases, and almost every day it's rising. So the amount of their positive, what you call it now, their testings, right? It's going up and up every day, Sir Nikki, and this is coming to be another wave, where I think it's actually worse than their first wave. What's your thoughts?
Solrak, I think what's going good for Canada is our testing. The United States doesn't test as much as Canada, so we have to be thankful that the Canadian government is really doing its fair share of testing to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Now, talking about the spread of COVID-19, it's something that we need to be still careful about. I know just recently, even in one of the hospitals, there was a couple of units that got infected with COVID-19, and this still is a serious threat. The biggest thing going for us is still how the government is attacking this pandemic. And if you take note also, just recently they've relaxed also on the number of gathering, and they've increased it to 200. And I'm sure you're aware of that.
Outdoors, Sir Nikki, correct?
Outdoors, yeah, outdoors.
Outdoors, right, that's right.
So that's still a positive, I believe, a positive move towards normalcy. And but please be reminded still that still keep distance.
Yes, definitely. Let's keep that going. And also, by the way, Sir Nikki, I'm not sure if you know also that the since we're talking about the mandates or the things that are going on in our country, I'm not sure if you're aware, the Canada's mandatory isolation for entering the country just got extended. If you remember, going back in early April, they had mandated the 14 days of quarantining after you coming from another country, for example. So if you're entering our country, you will be quarantined, and that was supposed to end actually this weekend. Okay, yes. So pushed back, or that has been pushed back up to August 31st. August 31st. So yes, I've been hearing this a lot now. Especially with people coming in the country, new in the country. It doesn't ring a good tone when you hear this. Parang it gives you a bit of a setback when you hear that. I'm picking up somebody from the airport, from the U.S. My family is visiting and things like that. But actually, even to them, it's quite a different feeling. They pick them up. They give them a vehicle, because you know how it is. They give them a vehicle, and then basically that's it. The virtual high fives, the virtual hugs. You see them for 14 seconds, and they're gone for 14 days, and then you get to see them, especially if it's your parents or if it's your siblings or whatever, right? So it is a very, very tough situation that's going on right now.
Yes, and just to add to that, Carlos, that the update to the order also notes that all these travelers, when they're coming in, from their point of entry to their isolation point, they have to be wearing non-medical masks. So, homemade masks, you can do that, right? And go to wherever your point of origin to your entry to the country and to where you're staying, right? So just so you all know, my brother just came back from the Philippines, and he is isolated for a couple of weeks already as well. He just came out of quarantine, and I told him, just be safe, keep the country safe, do your part, stay home.
It is just that, because last thing we need really is to spread it again. Right? It would only take one. That one can easily multiply. And as we all know, this whole pandemic thing is supposedly it came from one. So, and here we are yet. We're still talking about it. 7 months in, and it's still a crisis. It's still
all right.
Now, by the way, Sir Nikki, let us just to make sure that the people that are watching us live right now and listening to us right now, that they're aware that regardless of whether a person travels by plane, by boat, a car, train, bus, or another form of travel, they must isolate for 2 weeks as soon as they arrive.
Exactly. And Solrak, just to add to this, while we're talking about this self-isolation regulation of the Canadian government, we must also remember that the airlines now have taken away a seat apart policy on domestic travel, right? So they've taken away the social distancing in plane to keep afloat, and this is very critical move by the airlines. Air Canada and WestJet are doing this just to keep their business above water, and this is quite understandable. What's your take on this, Solrak?
I don't understand it. You go to anywhere, you go to a dealership to go get a service. It doesn't matter if you're lining up to get a food. It doesn't matter if you're in a grocery. It doesn't matter where you are in this province. You have to be 6 feet apart. There's still a lineup that we have to obey. There's still that, but yet inside a plane where everything is, it's in a let's call it a, right? It's in the box where the air is circulating, and you're shoulder to shoulder with somebody next to you. It doesn't make any sense. We understand that they have to stay afloat. We understand the situation of their business, and we understand highly of what this business give to us. But where does that fall into category when you're lining up to get a food? You're 6 feet away from somebody, yet you're inside an airplane. You're breathing the same air. It doesn't make any to me personally.
I believe, Solrak, and I totally agree with you. I believe that this is too soon. My thoughts and two pieces of thought there is that they should wait for the vaccine to come out, and then if they want to do that, then that's something that they could, they can look into and practice after a vaccine it is ready out. But currently, there's still no vaccine yet, so I'm really not in favor.
I agree, and again, we can elaborate this now. I think we can elaborate on this a little bit more. Now we're talking about, I'm going to segue a little bit. Now we're going to talk about Texas. We're going to talk about Florida and California, where, the provinces are mandating to wear a facial mask, right? So why is now all of a sudden people have the right to say, no, I don't want to wear a mask? They're protesting now. You've seen the video, Sir Nicky. People are protesting. People are against the mandating of wearing a mask. Now, to me, comparing that between sitting beside somebody on an airplane, it's definitely your call, right? Because that's what's happening right now. If you think that you really have to fly, I guess you have no choice. You have to fly. You got to do something. Yes, I understand you got to do something, right? So same thing for wearing a mask, right?
Yes, I believe it's a choice. Okay,
it's a choice, exactly,
and that choice has to be our choice. They are providing an airline is a service. Okay, so it's providing a service to us, right? To passengers. And passengers can obviously refuse that service, and it's a choice. So if you believe and you feel it's unsafe to fly because of the policies of Air Canada and WestJet not following the social distancing, then obviously the other choice you have is to go via land. It will take a little bit longer, but that's the option. in the United States, where they are told to wear masks, mandatory masking in the United States, I kind of not agree with that order, because really, if you look at it, it's a choice. If I don't like to wear masks, then it's on me. Okay? If I get sick, that's my problem. Especially in the United States, because they don't have universal health care like Canada.
That's right.
If you get sick in the United States, you pay for your own hospital bill anyway. So if you don't want to wear masks, why are you forced to wear masks? That is a violation of their rights.
And that's why again, when we were talking about this, we're picking it apart, and there's got to be a reason why these guys are protesting and not being able to agree on the mandatory wearing a mask, right? So, but anyways, that's their call. But I think if going back to the government and saying the government lays it down and say, you know what, guys, we're not curing anything by not wearing any mask. Correct? Now that everything is open, people are going to places now without any care, right? And they're everywhere now. So again, there's a lot of reason why we should really pay attention to what's going on. So
yes, I think the government is just trying to prevent the spread of this virus further. But we have to also to understand that it's the choice of the people to protect themselves or not to protect themselves. Now, if the government is the one shouldering the hospital bills, that is a totally different story now, right?
That's right.
Because
that's right.
By not following these orders of mandatory masking, then their system is gonna get overloaded. As it is right now, it's overloaded, and they're the ones paying their own bills.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe we can ask our audience. We can ask our listeners or viewers right now, guys. If you have any comments on this, please feel free to comment on our box and let us know what your thoughts on this, because we want to know. I mean, here, of course, people are a little bit more lenient in Canada because we have our Alberta health, right? And it's covered by our government. So yes, we do understand that. But again, feel free to comment below on our comment box. Let us know what you guys' takes on this situation that's happening. Are you guys thinking that it's safe to fly now? Is it now safe to go out without any mask, especially if you're in California, Texas, or in Florida? So hey guys, let us know. Join the conversation here. Sir Nicky, we're gonna go for a quick break, and we have some special guests with us tonight, so we're gonna bring him along. And guys, wag po kayong aalis. Don't leave, because we're here. We'll be right back. Dito lang po.
Hi guys,
It's Sherry Ann of TalaLuvzRadio Worldwide. TalaLuvzers and TalaLuvz viewers from all over the galaxy. Don't forget to tune in to TalaLuvzRadio Worldwide 24 hours, 7 days a week, only at www.TalaLuvzRadio.com. And of course, now our very own app is also available for download. So check that out, and you can take us wherever you go with our class trance music, because we are the home of the stars, where love resides. Spread the love, love, love. A Sunday of praise with your love DJ, Sherry Ann, from 4 to 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Don't forget to tune in every Mondays, Geek High Girls, from 7 to 8 p.m. Because you feel you, I feel me, I feel you, we feel each other, because we are the Cute
with
Girls.
Angel and Sherry Ann.
Tune in every Thursdays from 7 to 8 p.m. at TalaLuvzRadio, our local radio here in YYC, with your love DJs, Sherry Ann and DJ Soulrack. Every Fridays, Sai Curry's TV from 7:30 to 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, with our DJ, VJ, Sai Curry's, aka DJ Love. Tune in every Fridays from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. for our breaking news live with Carlos and Tita Nikki.
The Fourth Estate.
Check out every Saturday from all day, only at TalaLuvzRadio Worldwide at www.TalaLuvzRadio.com and our very own app at TalaLuvzRadio. Download it now for a top 40 Billboard charts all day long on Saturdays. Please don't forget to check us out also at our very own hub, our very own network at www.TalaLuvzRadio.com. That's www.TalaLuvzRadio.com. And for the comfort of being able to bring us wherever you go with our 24 hours, 7 days a week class trance music. Because here at TalaLuvzRadio, we are the home of the stars where love resides. TalaLuvzRadio Worldwide. And we are back here at the Fourth Estate with our news anchors reporting live, Soulrack and Nikki.
Hello again. Welcome back to the Fourth Estate. Soulrack here and Sir Nikki. We have a very special guest with us tonight. Morning, afternoon, wherever you may be. Guys, let us welcome Mr. Buddy Cunanan and Sir Joel Dison. How are you folks doing tonight? And morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you, Soulrack and Nikki, for having us on the show. And I'm so glad that Joel Dison is here joining us as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the invitation there, Soulrack and Nikki. And no, we're very we're very excited to be on this show.
We can see that. We can tell with your faces you're very excited. There we go. No, sir. No, thank you for coming on board here with us. I heard you guys have some really good news for what's going on for the Bobsled team that we have going on. Sir Buddy, Sir Joel, can you let our viewers know, our listeners know on what is going on right now with our national bobsled team?
Yeah,
Well, I'll give the floor to Buddy right here.
I'm just going to give the floor to our director for operations. But sige, I will give you the broad strokes. Very good news that as of May 6th was the official date, but we only finalized everything really in the last 2 weeks. So our association, our National Sports Association in the Philippines, which is the Philippine National Bobsled, Luge, and Skeleton Association, has been granted full and official membership in the International Federation called International Bobsled Skeleton Federation, based in Switzerland. And the impact of this is very, very significant for our organization because it means that we are now one step closer to our goal to participate in the Olympics, because the IBSF, based in Switzerland, is the governing body for the sport of bobsled and skeleton, as insofar as the Olympic Games is concerned. So very good news for us, and it's the first time we're announcing here for our Canadian audience. And maybe Joel can add something about how we were informed about this fantastic news.
Yeah, so we've actually been in the process of applying for our membership for a while now. And I believe, and this is really what's been happening, our accomplishments in the sports of bobsledding and our athletes' achievements have been kind of the forefront of our success, right? And the IBSF, which is the International Bobsled and skeleton federation, they take it seriously when it comes to members joining in the their federation. So we were fortunate enough that we have actually been supported by the community, number one, right, and a lot of the media. That's number two, and also our government. Basically both in the Philippines and in Canada and here in Calgary and in Vancouver. Let's not forget Vancouver. We've been doing a lot of work there too because of what's been happening lately here with the with the structure of the sports here in Calgary. So yeah, we have as Buddy mentioned, is that we have successfully joined the IBSF as official members. And basically, if you look at their website, we are actually already, as the Philippine team, part of their member kind of list. And that is an awesome feeling right there.
Wait, Solrak, Nikki, let me add to what Joel said. Two things lang, quickly. I want your viewers and your listeners to know that this is very historic because the Philippines is the first country in ASEAN to have a bobsled team, an official bobsled team, and to be a member of the IBSF. So no other country in the 10-member ASEAN has done this. So we've trumped all our co-ASEAN members in establishing this. And as Joel said, really, when it comes to this type of thing, the proof is in the pudding. And we at the PNBLSA, really, we have the bona fides to show because we've been doing it for the past few years already. We've got a team that trains in Calgary with Alberta Bobsled Association. We've been competing. We train in Whistlers. So we're actually doing the work already. All that was needed really was just a stamp of approval of the IBSF, which we, thank God, with all our hard work, we were able to get.
Well, congrats.
Yeah, Solrak. Go ahead, Solrak.
No, just want to congratulate you folks. Very, very, very good job of you doing our country a really good thing here right now. By the way, to our viewers and our listeners right now, Sir Buddy Cunanan is the president or the chief executive officer and founder of the Philippine National Bobsled Luvvzzzz Skeleton Association, and Sir Joel Dixon over here is our nawawala yung tawag dito. He is our executive director. That's right. Here we go. Sorry about that. Sir Nicky Gokwan, now you have some questions.
Yes, Sir Buddy or Joel, when did you guys start this move to be recognized with the Switzerland group?
Joel? Okay, let me start.
No, you please.
Okay, let me start. Well, this process has been ongoing for the past about maybe 2 years because we founded the team in 2017, so almost 4 years ago. But we've been very busy. We've been very, this whole thing has been a struggle, really. As you can imagine, the challenges and the needs of the team have been considerable. Getting the guys over there and just getting set up and establishing all the right partnerships and stuff like that. So we're really busy with all that. And then, but slowly over the years, we've been working it out. But it's only really in the last 4 or 5 months, 6 months, when we really pushed through with the application because we felt that now we have all the pieces in place that we can really present this now to the IBSF and say, guys, look at this, we're real, we're 100%, we're doing it, and we're very proud of what we've accomplished. And thank God that we have our director of operations for North America in Canada, pretty much carrying the ball for us there. And let me say that Joel also fulfills a dual responsibility. Another very, very important role is he's our liaison with the IBSF. So good relationships all around. Thank you so much, Joel.
Joel, can you add?
Oh no, it's been a pleasure. I mean, this is one of the things that being so passionate about sports itself and being the first ASEAN bobsled in the whole region, right? It's a memorandum, or it's a what they call that, a historical. Let's put it that way, a historical moment for everyone, right? And lifting our Philippine flag really high, that is huge.
That is important.
Yes.
So before we got this IBSF accreditation, full membership and representation of the IBSF Philippines, we were a bobsled team, we were an association, But it really was this IBSF membership that took us to the next level, and now we can actually really focus on the Olympic Games, which touch wood we will be able to participate and represent the Philippines.
I guess.
Go ahead, Sir Nicky.
Yeah, I guess the important question here, buddy, is sustainability, right? I'm really happy for you guys and congratulations. And that's a one positive thing for the country, and saludo ako dyan, no? Anything for the country is always good. Ang importante is, how do we move forward as far as training the youth or encouraging the youth to get into the bobsled. Any one of you can answer, Joel or
I'll start first. And actually, I'm so glad that Nikki asked this now, Joel, because we were just talking about this 2 days ago.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
Perfect, excellent question. Okay, for insofar as the Olympics Games is concerned, our objective is really just to get there. I mean, that is our short to medium term, if you can consider 2022 medium term. That's our focus. We want to get the Olympic Games. But after that, Joe and I were just discussing that, this tremendous opportunity, because we would like to, at the moment we're using Coast Guard guys from the Philippines, but after the Olympic Games, after 2022 or 2023, if it doesn't get postponed, we would like to open now training and membership and the sport of bobsledding to Filipino Canadians, because you have the facilities there. And I want to pass it to Joel now, because we've talked about some fantastic opportunities. Joel?
Yeah. So again, this is an opportunity for all Filipinos, right? Because again, we're representing the Filipinos, right? So they can be trained in the Philippines if they want to, but one of the things is they'll have that limitation on their training because they need to come here to Canada to actually continue on that training. But yeah, we're not stopping the stone. People who are willing to actually take that take that step and be an athlete and be an Olympian at the end of the day, yes, we'll very much welcome them. One of our other avenues is actually opening it up here, because we already established our relationship with Alberta Bobsled Association here in Canada. They are our official trainers. So our bobsled teams are going to be our inspiration. Sila yung maging inspiration sa mga young people, mga people who would like to look at a different sport, right? So basically taking that into account, we're now coupling with ABA to actually harness that, and give the youth, give the people that opportunity of a first-class training. I'm saying first class because it is really first class. They are one of the best here in Canada. So they will be trained here in Calgary. We'll open up the opportunities there. And because of the nawala yung track, right? Because in COP here in Calgary, they have decommissioned the track. So what's happening is here in Calgary, they'll be doing all of the physical activities and also what we call ice house. Ice house is one of the most important step before you can even get into the track. So that is where the coaches will actually gauge you, train you on the proper push, the momentum, your physique, and all of that. So once the athletes are actually ready here, then we can travel to the different locations. And one of the locations that's within Canada is at Whistler, and that's where our tandem with BC or Vancouver comes in, right? So now we're actually evolving, right? We're actually expanding now the horizon. So it's not just people here in Alberta, but also people in BC that actually can have this opportunity of enjoying a new sport, right? We've been having this a lot from, maraming tanong sa mga tao, can we do this? Can we do this? Yes, you can do this, right? It just gives you that, if you're willing to actually take that on, then we are here to actually open that up to everybody who would like to participate. And I think that's one of the next steps that joining the federation has actually given us, right? Is more opening up now, not just to our athletes, but to people who would like to join also.
The future is there.
Yes.
Yeah, and 2 points to take off from what Joel said, 2 very important points. Number one, and I wanted to take off from what he said about IBSF, because now when we expand our training and our membership and our training program to Filipino Canadians who can get dual citizenship, they can fly, they can race under the Philippine flag, no? Now that we are IBSF, we can now tell them that, hey guys, the opening, the opportunities to become Olympian, to participate in the Olympics is now open to you. under the Philippine flag through the PNPLSA. So, it really opens up tremendous opportunities, and even a young person looking at this sport now can say, hey, I can be an Olympian. And another thing, aside from, Joel said absolutely correct, you guys in Canada are lucky. You have Calgary, excellent training, excellent trainers, excellent facilities. You've got Whistler with a fantastic track. It's the fastest track in the world. But you also have Park City, Utah, which is about 12 or 14 hours away. So I think it's equidistant. I mean, you guys can correct me. I think it's equidistant from Calgary, no? You go to Whistler, you go to Utah. So you actually have access to two world-class tracks within a day's drive.
That's very exciting, no? Just listening to you guys, all of these things that are coming up for our country, for what you guys are doing. It's really good, and we really appreciate that you guys are doing this, not just for like what you guys said, trying to make it for the 2022, but also looking ahead and looking at the future. So really kudos to you guys and congratulations, Sir Nicky.
Yes, congratulations again, and keep up the good work and keep on training.
No, thank you very much, and thank you very much for having us on the show.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah, and one last thing here. Has there been any changes at all with the group of guys that you guys are training, or what is going on with the situation right now?
Well, we started out with the initial pool of athletes, but then early this year we underwent an organizational change. So now we have now recruited 3 more new guys, but one of them is a veteran, Ray Fernandez. So we do have some changes, but we also have some of the old guys with us in the person of Ray Fernandez. And let me also add that after 2022, this is not limited to men's. We can also form a women's bobsled team. So there is a women's category here. So even our Filipina Canadians could also participate.
There we go. To all of our listeners right now and our viewers, nako guys, napaka-exciting po ito. We can't wait. We can't wait to see more, to hear more on what's going on with our bobsled team, especially carrying our flag, the Philippine flag. Again, guys, maraming salamat po sa inyo sa oras na binigyan niyo sa amin at siyempre sa inyong good news, ika nga. Maraming salamat, and siyempre, congrats one more time.
Thank you very much, Solrak and Nikki. And follow us on Facebook, Philippines Bobsled. You'll see all our videos, photos, all our updates are there. Maraming salamat po.
Yeah, maraming salamat sa inyong dalawa, Nikki and Solrak. And this has been a great opportunity to have actually, spoken about our vision and also the vision for the Filipinos.
Very good. And once again, guys, maraming salamat. Keep our country proud.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back here at the fourth stage. Siyempre with Solrak and Nikki. We'll be right back, guys.
TalaLuvzers and TalaLuvz viewers from all over the galaxy. Don't forget to tune in to TalaLuvzRadio Worldwide 24 hours, 7 days a week. Only at www.TalaLuvzRadio.com. And of course, now our very own app is also available for download. So check that out, and you can take us wherever you go with our class trance music, because we are the home of the stars where love resides. Spread the love, love, love. A Sunday of praise with your love DJ, Sherry Ann, from 4 to 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Don't forget to tune in every Mondays, Geek High Girls, from 7 to 8 p.m. Because you feel you, I feel me, I feel you, we feel each other, because we are the Geek High Girls.
Angel and Sherry Ann.
Tune in every Thursdays from 7 to 8 p.m. at TalaLuvzRadio, our local radio here in YYC, with your love DJs, Sherry Ann and DJ Solrak. Every Fridays, Sayi Curry's TV from 7:30 to 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time with our DJ, VJ, Sayi Curry's, aka DJ Love. Tune in every Fridays from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. for our breaking news live with Carlos and Tita Nikki.
The Fourth Estate.
Check out every Saturday from all day, only at TalaLuvzRadio Worldwide at www.TalaLuvzRadio.com and our very own app at TalaLuvzRadio. Download it now for a top 40 Billboard charts all day long on Saturdays. Please don't forget to check us out also at our very own hub, our very own network at www.TalaLuvzRadio.com. That's www.TalaLuvzRadio.com. And for the comfort of being able to bring us wherever you go with our 24 hours, 7 days a week class trance music. Because here at TalaLuvzRadio, we are the home of the stars where love resides. TalaLuvzRadio Worldwide. Returning live here at the Fourth Estate with our news anchors, Silrak and Nikki, reporting live.
Welcome back once again, Solrak here and Sir Nikki. I hope you guys are still having a great time here with us, enjoying the show. Maraming salamat and thank you very much for tuning in here at the Fourth Estate. Sir Nikki, we have some a few things to talk about here. Anything
Yes,
to
very interesting, Solrak. We're gonna switch gears and talk about and gear away from coronavirus, but talk about another virus that's coming out of China again. Why is China so popular with all these viruses, man?
I don't understand it, but I mean, they must have it all.
Oh, yeah, they're the global manufacturing of the world. Yet they're also the number one virus capital in the world.
Capital virus. Anyway, what is this virus, Sir Nikki?
So apparently, this is another swine flu called morph, and this is another warning from China. They say, that could trigger another pandemic. We are not yet done with COVID-19. Now we're talking about another virus. What's going on?
I don't think they made enough money last pandemic, so they're trying to make some more.
Who is trying to make money?
That's on another topic.
Okay.
That's on another topic. But
well,
anyways,
is there something that I need to know?
yeah, I don't know, Sir Nikki, but again, watch out for this. Another warning that has been given to us. Sir Nikki, there's another huge loss, I think, in the business industry. Wendy's and Pizza Hut franchisee just filed for bankruptcy.
Yes, if you look at it, there's a lot of companies that has been struggling prior to the pandemic, Solrak, and now because of the pandemic, it has really pushed them to the limit, right? And they have filed for Chapter 11, which is bankruptcy. In talking about bankruptcy, a lot of people don't understand. They think it's bankruptcy, but how come this company still exists? Okay, how come some of these companies still is around? So there's what you call in bankruptcy. There's what you call reorganizing, the structures, right? And this is when they try to I call it renegotiate with their landlords, with the banks, with all their loans, right? Try to lower, their owings, their debts, right? And that's what's happening. And then they would now try, if this doesn't work, then they'll have to go to the courts and start liquidating, right? So there's that reorganization, and then liquidation is the other stage, right? So liquidation is when they just can't survive anymore and they have to get rid of all the assets they have to pay out the debts.
Yes, and again, that's a big food chain. That's a big franchise right there. Wendy's and pizza filing for that. That's crazy, right? That's and I do understand what you're saying. There's a lot of process to it. A lot of that is people don't understand where it says, "Oh, nako, bankrupt na, wala na, tapos na ito." Actually, guys, there's more to it than just that.
Yes. And there's still a lot of companies out there that you'll find, that'll coming into Chapter 11 pretty soon, because this global pandemic is not over, and the biggest problem with the current pandemic is that if you don't adopt to the necessary change and try to protect your clientele, your employees, then you'll have an issue, because people are not gonna shop at your stores if they feel unsafe. Yes, and if you don't adopt to these changes that you should be adopting right now, then you'll have more issues.
Definitely, and I do agree on that. Sir Nicky, after bankruptcies, I think we can talk about other things. A lot of people are, of course, we don't want to say get used to this, because there's going to be a lot more happening. We hope not, and syempre, we hope that things will get better. It's not just for us; it's for everybody. So hopefully things will turn on the right path, right, Sir Nicky?
Yes. On the positive note, Carlos, on our end in Alberta, I learned this afternoon that there's 2 pipelines that are starting pretty soon again to get it going, and hopefully that will help the Alberta economy.
Yeah.
And we don't, the fourth estate, we don't intend to be very negative about what's happening around us, but we deliver the facts according to what is out there, right?
That is correct. And that is correct. We don't just banter on things. We don't just talk about things. And you're right. As much as possible, we're always on the positive. We're always on the positive and always facts. Now, talk about facts. Here's another facts. Almost 1 in 3 pilots in Pakistan have fake licenses, aviation minister says. Sir Nicky, what is going on in our world today?
Wow, when I first read about that, I just shook my head. Okay, so this is even far worse than the pandemic, Solrak. We must take this seriously. Okay, while they're talking about Pakistan Airlines, okay, their internal airlines, the dangers of these pilots flying other planes, international flights, is a serious threat to passenger safety all over the world. Because how would Air Canada, who's trying to hire a pilot and then there's a pilot flying, how would he know that it's fake or not, the credentials are fake or not? Or if someone wants to fly Philippine Airlines and Philippine Airlines hired a pilot from Pakistan, that's a serious problem. Now, this is not a joke. This is something serious. So the aviation industry has to really take this seriously and look into it and investigate how all this happened.
Is it okay for me to say, because we all know what happened during 911?
Yes.
Okay. So I think it's leading up to that, like the danger of this fake licenses is huge.
Yes, definitely. Fake licenses, fake credentials has no place in the aviation industry. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of lives here per flight. And you can see that danger, right?
Exactly. And like I said, we've all seen what happened to 911, and we don't want to see any repeats of that. That is, again, a form of endangering lives. Sir Nicky, it's when I saw that news, definitely it was very, very mind-boggling. It hurts to think that there's such things that's happening, and 30%, that's huge. That's a huge percentage for having a fake licenses. And when they said how many pilots there was in Pakistan, there's 860 pilots there. And so give you a 30% of that. How many pilots are flying up there without the real license?
And just imagine, that's close to 300, eh? Oh my, that's a lot.
That's a lot of planes.
That's a lot of planes out there.
Anyway, that's no joke. Just like this next news that I'm gonna bring out to you guys, and this is brought to us by Vice.com. Armed military member rammed a truck through the gates where our Prime Minister Trudeau lives. That was really, really what do you call it? A very, very alarming news. What I heard last night. So Nicky, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, somewhere, somehow, someone lost his mind and went to send the Prime Minister a statement, I call it. A very odd statement, right? So ramming his truck into Rudu Hall, which is where the Prime Minister is staying, as well as the Governor General of Canada.
That's right.
So luckily, the Prime Minister Trudeau and the Governor General wasn't around.
And did you know that the other thing is that he was actually armed?
Yes, he was armed.
He was armed. So that was very, very disturbing.
Yes, and he works for the Canadian Armed Forces. That's what's more bothering, that he is from the Canadian Armed Forces, and the Canadian Armed Forces has confirmed it.
Yes,
so,
and same thing. It doesn't make any bloody sense on why in the world would he do this. And according to some of the statements that I wrote or that I read, apparently he had some questions to our Prime Minister, Sir Nicky.
Yeah, it's bothersome because I believe there are other means to communicate your displeasure, if you have a displeasure, or if you have anything that you want to tell the Prime Minister. There's other ways, and you could probably talk to the Fourth Estate, and we could probably bring up your concerns.
And we can talk directly to, next thing we know, we have our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in our show, and we can ask him the question for you directly, because here at the Fourth Estate, people, we're here to deliver facts, and we're here to deliver it right from the source. And that's what we do, and that's what we want to deliver to you guys. Maraming salamat again for watching us live here at the Fourth Estate with myself, your Soul Rock, and Sir Nicky. Sir Nicky, we're gonna deliver some really good news here. I really like what I found, and this is about a Filipina or a Filipino, okay, mayor of Hertsmere in England. Did you know that she is Filipina or Filipina? Wow. Cynthia Barker is the first Filipino mayor of Hertzmere in England. Nako, nakakatuwa, ang sarap pakinggan. 'Di ba? Sir Nicky, parang ikaw nag-migrate ka to another country, you went to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and the next thing we know, I am going to be calling somebody, Sir Nicky Gokwan, the mayor of Edmonton. Di ba? Parang ganun lang yan eh. Nakakataba ng puso kasi syempre, you know that it's a fellow, countryman.
Alam mo, at the end of the day, Carlos, dyan tayo believe sa Pilipino. Kahit saan mo dalhin ng Filipino. Bring them anywhere, any part of the world. And there, you will always see a Filipino excel. This regardless of what industry, what field they're in, and I will always spot a Filipino shine.
That's right. Kaya nga ako very, very proud ako to be to have a partner anchor na si Sir Nicky, because he is the president of Alberta Media Association. So kaya saludo tayo dyan eh.
Well, it's not about me, Carlos, right? This is Solrak. This is not about me. This is about the Filipinos and great Filipinos like Solrak and Sherry, who always excel in what they do. And this is why we have the fourth estate and all the programs on TalaLuvzRadio FM 94.7. And thank you for that station as well. So, yeah, just talking about great Filipinos, right? You can name a lot of great Filipinos all over the world excelling stuff. It's always out there. The list is actually endless.
Well, that's true. That's true, and that's a fact because and not only that, we wish them the best. We wish them the best, and hopefully with whatever journey that they're tracking or going to is the right journey for them, and that they will do the best way possible and use their power in the very right way. Sir Nicky.
And Solrak, let me state this, right? It is, I'm really happy for those people who have gone overseas and excelled in their fields. At the same time, I'm sad. And I'll tell you why. I'm sad because it is a talent drain for the Philippines. These very talented Filipinos that have migrated to other countries, live in other countries and excelled, it's great. I'm really happy because they're Filipinos. There's a lot of them out there. And in fact, there is a 32-year, I believe she's 32 or 33, if I'm not mistaken, 33-year-old billionaire in Australia, which is Phil Australian, and start up her technology company, and she's doing really well.
Yes. And not only that, Sir Nicky, and we can name a lot of names. We can talk about, I think, a lot of these successors, especially the ones that are going, abroad, diba? There's a lot, and we're gonna need another episode for that. And I think what the person that you were talking to, she started the Canva.
Yes, it is.
Right, I think that's that new app right now where you can do this.
Just make it easy for everyone.
Right, there's a lot of things that you can do stuff with that, right? So, anyway, nakakatuwa lang, di ba? Para sa atin lang, just to kind of hear those things, nakakatuwa. Parang, I want to give a shout out to Jokoy, for example. Diba? Jokoy is doing really big in the US right now. He's a comedian. He's an actor now too. He's really doing big in the US. But he's now also trying to bring up. His fellow countrymen also alongside with him, para lang talaga makita nila ang ating flag, ang ating nationality. Na there's more to it than just being you know, I don't want to say the words, but you know what I mean. We're not just for service, but we're also very very intelligent people, right? So there we go. But with that being said, Sir Nikki, again, I know you have a lot more things to say about a lot of other guys that's making a big difference. Can I also just give a shout out to the newly acquired PSC, Philippine Sport Commission? Because we were talking about sports kanina with our bobsled team. Right now, we're going to be talking about our sports in the Philippines. So, the new commissioner, Ramon Fernandez, he is now the new commissioner for the Philippine Sport Commission. He stepped up as the officer in charge after Chairman Ramirez took a leave last week. So, I know you're very, very, how do you say it, very, very close in terms of your history and your journalism with Sir Ramon. What's your thoughts on him being the new commissioner?
It's high time that someone of the caliber of Ramon Fernandez heads the Sports Commission, right? He's been around the sporting world for a long time, and I believe I believe he would be a great help. Definitely. If you're gonna talk about sports, you talk about these people who have made the professional basketball league, and Ramon Fernandez is one of those big names out there.
Definitely is. He definitely is. And going through a few things, I remember with him. I remember a conversation about what should we look forward to in terms of sports in the Philippines, in terms of kids in general, right? Him being a very sports-minded person, like Sir Ramon Fernandez. He really wants to bring up kids. He really wants to bring up our capabilities, especially with the sports. He's handling a lot, even before he stepped on as the commissioner. Did you know that he actually handled the very first hockey team in the Philippines? He actually won the championship about a couple years ago.
That's good to know. So that would be very interesting when he's gonna be our guest on the next show, right?
Thank you for breaking that news, Sir Nikki. And yes, in that note, we will be bringing in
Mr. President,
the new commissioner of PSC, Philippine Sport Commission, that is Mr. Ramon Fernandez. Nako, Sir Nikki, I can't wait. I can't wait for next Friday. So for everybody that's watching us live right now, and tuning in on our app, on our station, guys, come see us again. Stop in at the 4th Estate next Friday from 8:30 to 9-ish. We're gonna have Sir Ramon Fernandez in our show. You guys will could be a big part of our conversation. Any questions that you would come up, we'll definitely bring it up. Sir Nikki, go ahead.
Yeah, probably they can now ask Don Ramon, as I call him, Don Ramon Fernandez, how he mastered his elegant shot.
The Captain Hook.
And then Solrak, before we head any further, let's talk about what's happening in the Jerry Epstein case. Have you watched the Jerry Epstein
Netflix?
Yes,
I have actually.
Okay, I believe a lot of people have watched the Jerry Epstein documentary on Netflix, and it's quite bothersome to see a guy who has
Anything
practically. Pardon me?
He has anything and everything.
Anything and everything, and he has circumvented everything, right? So he was able to circumvent all these things around him and use people to his advantage. And now he was jailed a year ago, and Epstein allegedly committed suicide, right?
Thank you for saying allegedly. Yeah.
Allegedly committed suicide, and because there is no definitive finding on this one yet, allegedly he committed suicide. Okay, now the cohort, they say, obviously is the ex-girlfriend. Apparently, allegedly, she's part of the Jerry Epstein crime, right? And Ghislaine Maxwell, right, has been caught by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, right, and has been charged, right, by the federal prosecutor. And she was arrested in New Hampshire Thursday. So that's something really big as far as the prostitution case is that the FBI has put forward. For people who have not watched the Jerry Epstein documentary, you should watch it, because especially if you have kids, this is something true that families need to talk about openly. So how things like this happen, and how it can be prevented, and this is why I like to bring this up. This is very important for the millennials today. With technology around, Solrak, I know there's a lot of misinformation going around, and it's very easy for young kids to be deceived. And what's your take on that, Solrak?
Yeah, definitely, very much so, and you're right on the ball there. Especially when you have kids and it's girls, it's hard to digest. It's hard to watch, but at the same time, you have to be knowledgeable on what's going on in the real world. It's going to be a really tough conversation between you and your kids, especially when they're again, girls, on how to prevent these type of things to happen to you and to your to anyone you know, and to anybody that's in the situation.
Yeah,
yes.
It's a serious charge, right? Underage sex trafficking is a serious charge for Ghislaine Maxwell, right?
Yes, because that's also part of human trafficking, almost, because you're basically this lady. What's her name again? Ghislaine Maxwell. That's basically is how she is. She's recruiting girls, young girls, for this guy, Epstein. And again, it's for me, it's hard to digest.
Yeah, so allegedly she's part of the Epstein, problem or recruitment of minors, okay? And it's mind-boggling for someone who is a girlfriend of a billionaire would do that. I don't get it. So I really don't get it.
Yeah. And this didn't happen just once. It didn't just happen twice. Hundreds of times. We don't know. We actually don't know how many times this really thing happened, because from what we've seen on those videos or on that show was basically from an insider that, in a way of tracking Epstein, and that's basically just how it started, right? Otherwise, long then, we don't know when it started, And if you are still alive, wherever you may be, lock yourself up, man.
Yes.
No
It's this case has been actually opened up a few years back, and no one could even move forward with it because there's a lot of personalities involved.
He was buying his law. He was buying everything that he can buy. He was buying the mayor. He was buying the deputies, wherever he was. He was buying lands everywhere. So he's buying his way out of everything. And just like on that show, and that's why people are saying allegedly he committed suicide, but there's the big but that we don't know if or what is the truth or what is happening or what happened. So Nikki, go ahead.
Yeah, this case is really it's a historical case because it involves a lot of personalities that a lot of friends of Epstein had a lot of friends.
He was even friends with Trump before Trump was a president.
Exactly.
Very close.
And now this twist of Ghislaine Maxwell being prosecuted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation is an interesting twist in this story now, because allegedly a prince was involved too.
Who's?
There was a prince in that story that was a friend of the Epstein.
Oh boy.
So that's the twist there. So what Ghislaine Maxwell will be presenting or will say in courts, that's something, would it be incriminating? Is a big question.
So what you're saying too is that this could actually open up a can of worms.
Exactly. That is something that we have to watch closely.
Definitely. And you know what? We will be. And here at the Fourth Estate, we will deliver facts. We will deliver facts because that is what we do, and that's what we're here for you. And Sir Nikki, any last comments here for our listeners and our viewers?
Well, again, we want to thank our viewers, definitely, for following us every Friday night here in Canada and Saturday morning in the Philippines. And we hope that you're all safe from the COVID-19 pandemic, and that everyone in your family is well. And we wish you all the best, definitely.
That's right. Our mission is to bring legitimate information and informative news from credible sources from local and around the globe. Also provide a total value entertainment in the service of our diverse communities worldwide. Sir Nikki, good evening to you and good morning to everybody that's watching us live. Maraming salamat po. Sa muli, kita-kits next Friday here at the Fourth Estate, Soul Rock, saying good night and good morning.
This is Nikki. Good night and good morning.
Bye for now. Woo! Pinanood mo rin pa tayo?
Thank you.